you can insert into a OneNote page to make it more interactive for your students. So first, I always build within teacher section, so I don't want my students to see it. And let's add a new section, and I'm just going to say it's my work in progress. That way I know that these are things I'm working on, but I don't want my students to be able to see it. And let's say I change the color there. Okay, so some different things you can insert into your notebook. So if we're looking up here, we can obviously insert a table, okay, and we can manipulate it just like we would in Word or Excel. So that's one option to insert. We can insert a file. Now, I'm going to just go pull an example of a file. Let's start with a PDF. Let's just go ahead and choose that. You have a choice to insert it as a printout, a OneDrive, and an attachment. We're just going to insert it as a printout to show you because this is a PDF version, so if you notice, it's just a printout. It's there. If I don't want my students to be able to mess with it, if I right-click, I am going to choose to set picture as background, and now students can no longer click on it. You, though, can go ahead and unclick on it as well. Please note, I am doing all of this in the desktop version. It has a lot more functionality. If I were to try to do the same thing, for example, in this notebook on the online version, when I go to File, I've only got the option of these two here, which is fine. But if I want most flexibility, I'm in the desktop version. So now let's go back to File and let's actually go get a Word document this time. So here we go. Here is optional planning sheet for Survivor. This time I'm going to choose Insert as an attachment. What this does is it lets students click on it and they are able to download a copy of it to access on their desktop and duplicate. That way they can edit. This is your way of ensuring that only that student gets that. It's not getting the original copy. If you notice, it shows up there, so as soon as I put it in, it shows up on the desktop version. Instead, if I want to choose that other option, so File, let me bring up that same thing again. I'm going to say Open, and we're going to upload to OneDrive and insert as a link. Now, what you have to be careful about this option is all the students have access to the same document. So if you want students to collaborate and you want them to be able to see it together, this is a great way because they are able to see it, and then if they click on it, it will take them to this document. But as I was mentioning, every student has access to the same document. So if I start typing in here, other students would also be able to see what I'm typing. So if you want each to get their own copy, it's File, and we're choosing, once we get there, we're choosing that Insert as an attachment. If you want them all just to be able to see it and look at it together, it's Upload into OneDrive and insert the link. Okay, so let me get rid of those for a moment. So those are files. I can also do the same thing with a PowerPoint. So if I come back in here and let me go in here and I want to do it for a PowerPoint, you get the same options. So if I want to, let's just say upload, if I just want them to be able to like look at a PowerPoint and I'm not really too worried about them messing it up and they're just reading, let's say, notes, choosing this option lets them quickly, easy read the notes. If I want them to have their own copy, I would choose that download option. Okay, printout is just basically how you would put in a PDF. Picture, we can insert any sort of pictures like we normally would. Screenshot lets you take a screenshot of what's currently on your screen. And then we've got link. You can insert a link so that it will take them to a website. But I'm going to show you something nice about that. Let's say I have a YouTube video, and let me just go to YouTube real quick. Okay, and I'm just going to pick one of the videos. Let's see what appears. Okay, lots of random stuff. Let's just try to, where's all my school stuff? Here we go. Let's say I want to insert this TED Ed video on symbiosis. Okay, I'm going to hit copy. Okay, and then when I come back here, what's really nice is it auto opens a preview. So your students don't have to go to YouTube to watch it. They can if they click the link, but they are just going to watch it. Now, if you want to make it bigger, you can, and then it plays right in here. Now, I use this all the time during my live classes. So in Zoom, I will share my screen and I'll play the video while students are taking notes below. So that's a great way to use it. So it's not just limited to YouTube videos. Some other websites you want to test out and try and see if it will work. For example, if I come over here to my FET website, let's say I want them to do this FET. If I copy the link and give it a moment, the FET will actually load inside of OneNote. They don't have to go to a separate website, and I've done this a few times with my students. Now, obviously there are limitations to this, but if you're unsure and you've got an interactive thing, go ahead, just try to paste it in and see if it will let your students do it. When I want to resize it, I just stretch it there, and then I usually just put the questions I want them to answer below. So those are the different things that you can quickly insert in that makes your notebook a lot more interactive, honestly, than any interactive notebook I used to use.